Disclaimer. This tutorial episode, for educational and training purposes only. So, cannot be used for commercial or other profit purposes. Before watching this video, please read the disclaimer text carefully.
Welcome to the sixth episode of our series Excel for FP&A and Cost Management. Our request by some colleagues, and as promised in the last video, today I will try to show you how to use dynamic images that can be altered based on value of a cell. Also, with this video, a free Excel worksheet that can be used by the customers and logistics at two subsidiaries of Heidelberg Material Group. It's Swiss Cement and Hanson UK. Let's first start with an interesting and interactive example for monitoring and analyzing the sales of products. Our first case study is the Swiss Cement Group, a subsidiary of Heidelberg Material Group. Again, the next shown data is not real, but proposed for tutorial purpose only, so it cannot be relied upon for purposes other than educational and training.
In the following sheet I've inserted 5 images of some products by Suez Cement Group. For example, to insert image, click Insert, Illustrations, then insert picture from this device. We have now 5 pictures, and I can use any picture format that I wish. But be sure that each single image is inside its own cell, again inside cell. In other words, should be surrounded by the cell borders, and not outside the cell. Select one image and press Ctrl A, then distribute horizontally and distribute vertically. Also, you can align to top or bottom. Now we need to define a name to each cell. Select cell B2 to F3 as you see, then Formula. Create name from selection, to automatically generate names from the selected cells. Select Create Value from Top Raw. As you see, cell F3 has a name clinker. Now copy any one image, then paste on the second sheet. Again, try to resize it on the cell. We need to assign a name to indirect formula, so our cell reference can translate the text inside the cell to an address. Select any cell and type this formula. Type =X lookup and select cell J8, don't forget to press F4 to lock the cell. Then type comma and from the master data sheet, select cell B2 to F2. Again, comma and select cell B3 to F3, close parentheses and press Enter. Again, ensure that cell J8 between $signs. Now cut this formula, and from Formula tab select Define Name. Let's name it Suez Image. On the Refers to, delete shown formula, and paste our X lookup formula, and press OK. Now select the image, and type on the formula bar Suez Image and press Enter. Now it's working.
As you can see, every time you select a product type from the drop-down list, the image will alter. Also, the data in each raw will be updated. For use dynamic shape and applying formatting effects, you can watch our first episode of this series, Dynamic Shapes and Formatting Effects.
The idea of the indirect formula that we defined as source image is to ask the Excel to look up each time for the value in cell J8 that represents the name of the image in the range of cells B2 to F2, then to select it from the range B3 to F3 that includes the name of the image. You can discover the products of Swiss Cement by clicking on its image.
Now let's try another way of using dynamic images, but this time using Slicer. Again, I will insert 6 pictures of 6 different products by Hansen UK, a subsidiary of Heidelberg Material Group. Again, try to resize all images to be surrounded by its cell, then align all images to left. Select the range A2 to B7, to assign name to the cell that include the images. Create name from selection, to automatically generate names from the selected cells. Select create value from left column. As you see, the cell has a name now. Now let's implement a creative slicer, form the table on the left of the pictures. The table includes proposed data that not real, we just use it for the educational and training, but this table can be also used by any retailer or distributor of the company's products. I have copied the data table to another sheet called Pivot. Now create a table from the selected data, by Insert Table, then select any cell on the table to insert Pivot Table. Choose the existing worksheet button and select cell A12 and press OK. Select all cells related to the header, code, image, open stock and so on. Now we need to change the format of the pivot table, by select Show in tabular form. Also, off for raw and column, then finally don't show subtotals. To add Creative Slicer, right-click on the code name and add as Slicer. By selecting any slicer button, the pivot table will be updated as you see. Now again let's create another named formula by assign a name to indirect formula. Again, using my favorite XLOOKUP function. Select any cell then type =XLOOKUP, and select cell B13 as our reference, but don't forget to press F4 to lock the cell. Comma then select cell A2 to A7 and press F4 again. Finally select cell B2 to B7 that include the image defined name and press F4 to lock the range. Close parentheses and press Enter. Now cut this formula, and from Formula tab select Define Name. Let's name it Hansen Image, and on the Refers to, delete shown formula, and paste our XLOOKUP formula, and press OK. Now cut the slicer and paste on the Hansen order sheet. You can change the slicer format from slicer style. You can select any format or design. Also, hide the header name of code. From slicer setting to hide header. Back again to our images, copy any image, then paste beside the slicer, then type on the formula bar Hansen Image and press Enter. To select the indirect formula, now it's working. Also, you can add dynamic shapes that can be updated to the slicer data. You can watch our first episode of this series, Dynamic Shapes and Formatting Effects. You can find a lot of creative ideas to use dynamic shapes and applying formatting effects. All you need to link your shapes to its related cells on the pivot table. Now press the slicer buttons, you will find both images and data on shapes be updated. Also, you can insert a link to any image, and click it to be directed to a website. Now you click on Hansen image to discover the company products.
Would you like additional resources related to our episode today? Here you are, amazing resources by Minda Tracy, the co-founder of my online training hub and a professional Excel expert. It's about lookup picture in Excel based on a cell value. I will put the direct link to all these tutorial and articles by Minda. Also, amazing video by Van Hopkins. It's about applying a fun dashboard in Excel with card visual, track and linked images. It's highly proposed to watch it. Finally, and as usual, for my Arabian Connects, I will put in the comments a good tutorial post by Muhammad Al Arifi, the founder of the Excel Expert. See you next episode. Bye.